welcome. We usually present you one home concierge services. This is our business edition of this project, and hopefully your next investment. We'll go very quickly over the team. You have it in front of you. Feel free to ask any question on the back of this, but just remember one thing, you're in safe hands. So what's the need? Well, nowadays, if it shows, what's the need? Nowadays, it feels as though you're juggling many things at the same time. You've got a never-expanding to-do list. Time is running out, and quite frankly, drives you nuts. There's quite simply not enough time for it all. The observation is quite clear. You've got a limited amount of time. Demands from your work, from your friends, from your family, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant others, whoever it is, they're all asking more and more time from you. And you've got a restricted amount of time. Whether it be a dress appointment, table booking, handyman, plumbers, table booking reservations, you name it. It's difficult, it's confusing, there are many things to tackle, you just don't know actually where to start. So who would benefit? Well, stressed individuals living the busy city life, or for example, people staying in budget hotels in a foreign city they don't know about, they don't know what to do. Those people would benefit from it. Ultimately, time is a ticking bomb, and you've got a confusing wide range of choices. Ultimately, our idea is to provide a set of price-competitive concierge services, basically bringing to a mass market being large, previously untapped one. The idea is like text messages, phone, websites, smartphones. You want it, you have it, you name it, you got it. Ultimately, our vision is to bring to the mass market at competitive prices a facility of life. Basically, it's taking away from you those daily duties of organizing, the hobbies, the chores, or the daily duties of the next holidays, and enabling you to actually focus on what you want, which is your free time. Ultimately, our mission is simplicity, hassle-free. We want to do for concierge services what the likes of Ryanair or EasyJet have done with the airline industry, which is bring something previously very expensive for a lot of people, take it down and make it a mass market appeal. We want to basically take the Ritz concierge to the streets. Our mission is for one to become your personal concierge for your home and all your travels. So what's the market going to be like? Well, you can tell it's going to be based in London. And our core target, meaning people earning £50,000 or more, in London alone represents 370,000 people. Now we believe that with our price plans, we'll be able to actually provide mass appeal and expand drastically on this 370,000 initial target. What it means also is that we aim to develop our project in the UK via our own company, but as well go beyond this and establish our presence internationally via a franchising model to actually minimize costs. We believe that future target cities could include, for example, the likes of Paris, Madrid, and of course the city we're in today, Shanghai. Why? Because of high net worth and large GDP for each one of those capital cities. So, question begs, like, where do the others stand, frankly, because it's not a new market and we realize this. So quite simply, so you've got a low price, high price, easily accessible and exclusive. You've got small boutique concierge services like Concierge London, very expensive, very exclusive, very inaccessible. Then you've got a couple of large-scale competitors that you may have already heard of. For example, quintessentially yours and the 10 Group. Bear in mind the 10 Group generates £23 million of annual turnover, so it's a proven business model there. And then you get a cluster of smaller scale operations, kind of all centered around the center of this positional map. What this means is that you've got exclusive global coverage companies and small local operations, which means that the top right-hand corner of this, the mass market, is currently left unoccupied. This is where we come in. So we want to capture the mass market, something no one has done already. So what's the market plan going to be like? Well, you may have heard of all those things, and all my colleagues here have mentioned social networks. We've got a clear idea about this. Social network, for example, Facebook is 600 million users those days. It's give or take 10% of the world population. What's interesting is that the likes of Facebook, MySpace, Flickr, and LinkedIn, well, the actual user base, depending of course on the different social networks, but sometimes up to 50% of the user base actually earn £50,000 or more. So we're going to be reaching those users. Well, we're aiming to be using funny, quirky videos, situational ones, actually making full sense for the users of what we actually aim to offer them. So all those videos will be catering to specific problems, even before the actual launch of the service, to enable us to create a buzz online and for people to relate to it and hopefully, let's say, reduce acquisition costs and marketing costs by actually generating a buzz effect which will hopefully encourage people to pass on to their friends and relatives and so on, the videos. Ultimately, we'll be looking to step our presence in the subsequent 3 years on all media platforms, whether it be, let's say, small magazine relevant targeted ones, or for example, the website. The goal is to reduce acquisition costs via the social network campaigns, but more crucially so, reach the right people at the right time when they have a bigger attention span. Now hand over to you, Richard.
Thanks, Mark. I'd like to talk about some of the operational issues, how does it work. I'll start with just describing customers. They fall into 2 broad groups. Individuals, our B2C market. These are typically busy people that have got deadlines at work, things to do at home, problems at home. How do they do these things? How do they prioritise? The second group, people visiting London, people on holiday. They're coming to London. There's a lot they want to do. They're staying in a hotel that doesn't have a concierge. Most hotels don't have concierges. They know these things exist. Where do they start? All of these cases, this is where we come in, this is where we can help. Although those 2 groups have got differing needs, different demands, one thing that they have in common is the need for flexibility. What we put together is a range of offerings for both groups, starting with trials, with pay-as-you-go services, right the way through to exclusive 365 days, 24/7 access. This is something that firstly the competitors don't do, and secondly from the results of our market survey, this is what people want, particularly the pay-as-you-go, the occasional, I'm just going to use it every week, every month. How does it work? Mark said earlier, simplicity. It's about making people's lives easier for them. It starts off with a phone call, a visit to the website, an SMS, the iPhone app. We take it from there. We find the right supplier, we check the price, we agree the price, agree with both parties, service starts. When the service is completed, we check that it is completed satisfactorily before we move into the payment system. We invoice our customers, our customers pay us, we retain commission, we pay suppliers. I mentioned that there are two sources of revenue from our customers, pay-as-you-go, monthly subscriptions, business and personal customers, and from our suppliers, commission. In some cases, and this is actually the case shown above, we will act as the principal. We will manage the financial transaction. In other cases, that relationship will be directly between the customer and the supplier. The suppliers are a key part of this business. We want to make sure we involve the users, the community, in defining those suppliers. We'll start off with a database of suppliers. As the business grows, that will change. That will change as we get feedback, as customers rate suppliers, as we audit suppliers, as new services get suggested. One of the key things we want to do here, something that other companies don't do, listen to the customers, ultimately empowering them. And Zara will talk about some of the things.
Thank you very much, Richard. I hope you're feeling the passion we're putting into this business, the passion we're putting into these slides. Let's take now a look at some great figures. In terms of users, we are expecting more than 27,000 users at the end of year 5. And in terms of revenues, we are expecting this great evolution. So we are expecting here about more than 50 million in year 5. We're addressing here B2C and B2B. B2C starting in year 1 and B2B starting in year 3. Why year 3? Because we feel like in the 2 first years we're going to build the know-how how to do it. We want to make it easy to our investors. We don't want no long-term capital expenditures, and we are going to, we're talking here about creating a flexible and scalable business. In terms of cost, let's take here a look at the year one. We're expecting cost of about 700,000 pounds. The main cost drivers are going to be marketing. Why marketing? Because we want to make us known to the mass public, and human resources. Human resources including our low cost and flexible call center in India. Funding. We're asking for 1 million in year one and an additional 200,000 in year two. Why 1 million in year one comparing to the cost of the year one for 700,000? Because we want to make sure that we're going to get the customers that we're talking about. And this additional funding is going to make us possible sustain these numbers. Milestones of year one. What are we aiming to achieve in year one? Some great things. We're expecting here about 10 employees hired at the end of year one. We will have at the end of year one more than 400 customers paying a monthly fee and more than 1,000 users paying as you go. So we'll have some occasional services and we will have 1,000 of these users. We will be generating more than 75,000 requests. That's a lot of traffic from our customers through us to our suppliers. That's a lot of money changing hands. And the best part of it is that we are in the middle. Counting from the requests generated, we will have already in year one a supplier revenue program, and we will be expecting to generate more than 100,000. Marketing is important for us. That's why we aim in year one to launch 4 big marketing campaigns aimed to get the reach of the mass public, and we will be sponsoring 1 trade show. What does it mean? We want in year one to establish the basis for a successful business. Now I will give the word to Mark to begin to summarize.
Thank you very much, Gonzalo. So, what are the keys to success to making money here? Well, basically, we're responding to 3 customer needs: little time, little money, and little time, little knowledge, and big value for money. Ultimately, we're targeting the world's financial capital. A lot of money changes hands in London, and we're looking to exploit this. Further down the line, franchising model, simple, executable one. One brings concierge services to your home and to budget hotels. This is something drastic and revolutionary. No one currently has a concierge service at home, and this is something that's not being done. Ultimately, the marketing plan is in line with social media trends. It captures the right audiences at the right time, where they have the right attention span. It minimizing potential acquisition cost, and with pre-established milestones, we make it an investor-friendly proposition, whereby we're actually able to track down the progress of the venture, and you're able to do so as well. Our business aims to generate 7.4 million or 44% of EBIT by the end of year 5. Now, what we want to do is to make one home concierge services to enable you to and us to take care of it, take care of you wherever you are. Thank you very much.